I am solo dadding O'Brien.
Where's
She's
where's Caitlin?
She's hold on, let me retweet this to my 10 followers that are actually real. Let me just do this. Hold on. She is in New York for a work meeting, and so I had the kids, and it's just so funny because I will continue to say this, but when my wife's away, the kids go to bed because I just openly threaten them and tell them that there's bugs on everything. And like if you don't go to bed, you're gonna get bugs in your eyes.
I mean, I told Elena that she had spiders in her mouth.
I literally tell my kids that I troll my kids like it's somebody's business. That being said, this is Dad's Bet Baseball. We are very quickly approaching episode 50. Dad's Bet Baseball, episode 40 something. And this is also weird because I'm not usually on this side of the screen when I say
I know. I'm like now I'm on my left. Okay, now I'm on the right side. It's like it's like in Seinfeld. It's like no. You need to be on this side. Like this side. That's where you look the best.
That's a good call out. Okay, so I am. Well, first of all, I'm going to set up my screen. I'm setting my screen for. Well, first of all, with me as always, CJ Busky, Slippin' Jimmy, CJ. We're gonna talk about a game from last week that you seem to want to have closure on. I moved.
I don't really want to talk about it. I'm doing it.
I don't do that to you anymore, and I'm serious. Like I'm very serious. I don't.
It's a good game though to talk about in terms of like matchup versus pay attention to what the market's actually doing. So that's why.
Let me do actually as part of all of it. Not absolute friend of the program, Oddslogic. Which in both of our opinion, I'll speak for you. Both of our opinions is the best odds, fantastic product, best odds.
Fantastic. It's great.
Run by Rick Alec. I'm going to use Hall of Fame bets to find a bet that I like for a Thursday night football game. But I'm also going to show you and answer your question from a little bit ago. We have Michael Huffer here, by the way, everybody, who to talk Colts, which is awesome because you may remember him as part of the Pump Fake Pod Invasion episode from a couple months ago. They are rolling. And now we get him to talk about his team, the Colts.
I mean, they got college basketball coming up here in like
a week.
2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think they've already had Midnight Madness.
I think Midnight Madness is Friday. I don't know. He would.
Or is it this week? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll correct.
I'm going to do this though. This is not. So I'm going to first show everybody. So this is Oddslogic. CJ, you would ask me, how do I care about splits? And I know we're getting ahead of ourselves on these things, but the reason so they will tell you what the ticket count is and what the money count is. I only really care about money when it's over 50%. But what's important to know is that I go to something like let's go to, I go like a public book, like DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on it, it'll tell you right here, if you click money, it'll say, oh, look at this. Like on the, like what the splits are on a public book is a little bit different than what they're going to be naturally. Like right now, like it's 50-50 on, it is 50% of money, but like 75% of the tickets on.
Can we go to the Bengals Steelers one? Cause that actually is, I'm interested in that. Cause I did see the DraftKings splits on that, which by the way, if you just wanted to see the DraftKings splits, they do publicly post that. You can go anytime.
Which I think is mildly predatory, but so first of all, what you'll notice is that there is a lower ticket count on Pittsburgh, which I like to see. They are getting quote half of the money overall, right? But if you look on DraftKings, there's just basically you can look at kind of like what the public splits are, and it says like Pittsburgh like is getting it says that's on the over 62%, right? And then what I care about, though, is I'll go to Circa because whoever's betting a game and betting it earlier in the week, I care about that stuff. And the splits are, in terms of handle, are bonkers on it. It's like higher than 61. I will also at some points, sometimes it's a lot easier to like look at VSiN. I mean, the thing that I like about Oddslogic, though, is that I can see the open. I can see that 50%.
I was just about to comment on that, too.
I can see the open. I can see the open. I can see that 50% of the money is on here. I can see that more than 50%, 7% of the tickets on here. And then I see that everybody's got a 5. I see like Superbook is like going down on a 5. I see Circa is like holding strong at a 5.5. Why this matters to me is because like a commercial book like DraftKings or FanDuel is naturally going to want like something that's going to entice. Like when people say, "Oh, I want a line that's going to entice action," that's coming from those books. Like Circa doesn't care if they get more action or they don't. But like DraftKings, let me find a line that's. Here's a great example. Okay, so this is a great example. So, and maybe it means that I'm wrong, but this line actually means that I'm wrong on the side that I think. But whatever. So Circa is like, yeah, we have a 2 on Philly, right? But if you look at DraftKings is effectively making it appear that Minnesota is like the sharp side because they went down. So you have to know that like people will go to like DraftKings and they'll say, "Oh, I'm sharp. Like the line is moving. I'm starting sharp." Like that's some of these books are trying to do that in a manipulative way. I love this because I love Oddslogic because like I can see what's on our locals. I can see, I can see
compare against Pinnacle. You've got offshores, obviously they're on here. You've got also
Novig's on here.
Yeah, and you have like South Point, you have Superbook, like
it's really a fantastic
Vegas
product.
institutions.
Like we don't have we do not have a CPA deal with them. They help us for odds and stuff. It's fine. We just really encourage this product. It's a great product. So that being said, that is one of the things I use. And sometimes I go to VSiN if I want like an all up, but what I care about is seeing like a massive cross split on something. You know, let me see, where was a good example? Like Detroit and Tampa Bay was like a really good example. Because like 80%, 87% of the money is on Detroit. And what was it? And they had the ticket count, and the ticket count is, they can sometimes do this. We won't
is it 55% of the tickets on Detroit? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, it's like I like to see like a big cross. And I'll use VSiN for too. But basically, that's sort of how I look at the splits of
that kind of
it matters to me more. The last thing I'll say, it matters to me more on a primetime game.
Okay. Oh, because of an island game.
There's a signal.
Because that's
like,
where
that's a signal that's like
that makes sense. Well, okay. Good segue. We will get to Hall of Fame bets and into a bet here.
HOF
Bets. That is a good quick segue to that Atlanta Bills game that we're going to bring up from Monday, because you and I were going back and forth on our pick'em last week, and I saw that line at Bills -3.5, and I could not make sense of it. When I was looking at all of the given matchups, I saw -3.5. It didn't move. That did put a signal to me that something might be up. But when I was looking through, like, all right, rushing defense wise, fantastic matchup for Buffalo. This is exactly what Buffalo wants to do. Atlanta, historically under Raheem Morris, has struggled against rushing quarterbacks. Okay, Buffalo coming off a loss, having a little bit of extra rest, even though the Falcons were coming off a bye. A lot of things, like, just from an analytics standpoint, that I thought match up quite well for the Bills in this game. And you were very, very adamant. You said, I think, was it your most confident pick in Circa last week?
Play. I had it. It was a 2-unit play. It was very rare that I do this. It was a 2-unit play. I had the money line. I had the spread. I had it in Circa. I never take Monday Night Football picks on it, and I loved both games. But I loved the spot. Ball wise, the reason I loved it. Here's the thing about splits, and I think we talk about this all the time. And sorry, Huffer, that we're making you wait, but it'll be fine.
He's got to write up some more plays. So right. We'll get him ready.
Splits matter to me as a final stand, as one of two things. As a, whoa, like you just said, this line's weird, like what's going on here? Or as a stamp on something I already liked. I already like Atlanta off the bye because I'm very high on their defense. And
yes, their defense is very good. Yeah.
Like I am very high on their defense. And so off the bye, I thought the best case scenario is that off a bye, a quarterback that I'm not impressed with normally can get better. So, going into it, and then the splits were like 70-30 across the thing. And I was
that was your confirmation. As you said.
I can tell you one right now that is absolutely like that. So it's harder because and it's a little bit easier because I was looking at it on the VSiN split, but basically on DraftKings so this one to me a absolute hammer spot is the Giants and Broncos, because so the Giants on DraftKings, first of all, the Broncos are laying 7 points a week after they got back from London and didn't cover a game against the Jets. Okay. So that, first of all, that tells you 90% of what you need to know, that they're now laying 7 at home to a team that beat the defending Super Bowl champs by 17. Okay. So base logic, they're saying to you, we don't care about that Giants win, and that there's a massive discrepancy between these two teams. When you go to the betting splits for DraftKings, which we will call the public side, it is, as you would expect, it is 74% of the handle and 74% of the bets on DraftKings are on the Giants. Okay. And then when you click and go to Circa and see what's going on at Circa, which is like where pretty big respected money is going to go, and it's going to be shaping this line. Yeah. 1% of the handle and 40% of the bets are on New York, and 99% of the handle and 60% of the bets are on the Broncos. So that is literally the very definition of a pro Joe line. I am putting that on top of the fact that this is a line that's telling me all these things, and that I'm always going to fade a team off a big win, but then I see a split like that, and this is quite possibly going to make my Circa card. So,
bad matchup also, by the way, for the Giants.
It's a terrible matchup. It's a terrible matchup. It's a terrible matchup but it's a great matchup for hopefully future defensive player of the year, Nick Bonito. So, I am going to, by the way, the reason why the Steelers are smashing tomorrow, the real quick reason, this line has been 5.5 forever.
And it opened at 4. It opened at 4. And it's as a team that, and this is, as I'm saying this, as my Steeler gear today, hashtag I know my team. This is a team that also the market has hated all season. So when that also, like, especially getting into week 7, the fact that it moved 1.5 points, Cincinnati, like, at least showed that they had a pulse against Green Bay, and yet it stayed at 5.5. And Steelers have traditionally been a team that the rest of the sharp community and market has been pretty anti. I think that's kind of all you need to know about the spread there. And I typically don't like Tomlin on a short week in a primetime game, but this one I think is a good spot for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I want to see now, Tomlin as a fave is the new Tomlin as a dog, in my opinion. So it's just kind of
cover rate is recently and
Spencer just pointed it out. Like, the quickest cap for me on this is that you putting money on Joe Flacco on a short week.
Well, also, do you know that you want to guess, by the way, as you're going to pull this up, they play the Packers at home next week. What do you think the Packers, that look ahead line is right now?
Who? The Steelers?
Steelers play the Packers in Pittsburgh next week. What do you think that line is for the Packers?
3.5.
It's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that also is a little bit telling to me that, okay, Steelers have a little bit of extra rest coming into that game. That's telling me that they actually probably should get a slight bump. So
that being said, let's look at a play that I like that corresponds to how the game script's going to go. I highly recommend, when you do props, by the way, guys, figure out what the game script, figure out how you see the game going. I see the Steelers smashing this team. I don't care that Jamar Chase said that they're not going to raw dog them. Yeah, they are. You're a 2-4 team being led by Joe Flacco. They're going to raw dog you. And guess who's going to raw dog them? Aaron Rodgers. So I knew I wanted an Aaron Rodgers thing. One of the markets that I love to take is completions. So there are actually two. I doubled down on Aaron Rodgers here. I like his completions, but one of the things that I looked at on this, so he's only hit it like once, a couple times. It's fine. But this is the magic of Hall of Fame bets, use code DADS, is that when you mess around, like, I absolutely trust their percentile rankings. And I do that because our raw data on baseball has always corresponded to what they think. So I buy it. So this is down on this thing under passing defense, right? But then when you go to what your opponents, what is it? It's the bad opponents things. Here it is. Hold on 1 second. So his last one in the following is a bad opponent, 28. And then where was it? Was it AFC South? Yeah, there it is. He's just been killing since he got to the AFC South. But the real play that I loved on here was, besides, like, I love the completions because I think he's going to just throw it off camera. You can't see it, but on FTN would tell you this is what, well, look, actually you can see it. Overall, like, passing yards, rushing yards, They're the worst. Like everybody goes over their completions against this team. But I like also his yards, and I like it at an alt. I actually let's go. We can go a little higher. We can go. We can. I don't want to go 250. We'll go 225 plus 106. So, but look what happens when he plays bad teams, dude. Boom. It's like it's not even close. And this is over the last 2 seasons. When he plays a bottom team, he eats them. So, like when an opponent has a bad offensive rating, he eats them. When an opponent has a bad rushing, he just 200. He's averaging.
He's good against bad teams.
He's very good against bad teams.
That's the moral of the story.
So anyway, that is also my Hall of Fame bet thing is going to be, I like the completions. I like the completions at 20 and a half. And then, I like his alt yardage. So
I want to get Huffer in, but just real quick, DK Metcalf, 70 plus receiving yards is plus money right now.
Love it.
Go fire on that. Like he's clearly being brought more into the game plan. This is the worst defense against number 1 wide receivers in the league. And you have, I think, every single one of the wide receiver ones has gone over this, except for technically Romeo Doubs was a wide receiver 1 last week, but Matthew Golden went over it. So DK Metcalf, if you also like that game script, 70 plus receiving yards is a good one to add.
I love that. I like that play. And on the other side, the problem is that I don't think Joe Flacco. I have a sneaky suspicion Joe Flacco is not making it through this entire game.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the one thing I think that's been a little bit interesting, and it might be opponent based, but the Steelers' pass defense has actually looked like it's been a little bit alive, and they might have needed that bye week to honestly kind of pull some things together. It's a bunch of new guys that are part of that secondary. I was pretty impressed in the last couple of weeks, but also they played Dylan Gabriel and Carson Wentz. But Joe Flacco is also kind of in that same camp. So, they might be. This might still be a good matchup for that secondary as well. Chase Brown receptions was the only one that I kind of thought was a little interesting.
I'd like that too. I still mean to like Higgins. Anyway, let's talk to Huff because I'm going to talk about.
Let's get it Huff because I'm ready to talk some Colts.
All right. Oh man, the offensive coordinator. Look at him.
Yeah. Z-scat, white ring, X shuffle, bring the Louis, and stick it right.
I love it.
Ask Madden.
Ask Madden. That's me. It's always Ask Madden. Ask Madden always.
Hashtag Ask Madden.
Dude. All right. So we got Michael Huffer, who is one of the co-hosts of Pump Fake Pod. And you may remember him as the Scott Hall of the Pump Fake Pod invasion. And he's one of my boys. We know each other for like 5 years. Damn. He is Indy's own, and he is a Colt. He has been on Colt. He has never wavered from Colts except potentially from the beginning of the season. So I want to jump in right away. What were your expectations for your best in the AFC Indianapolis Colts? And are you still buying this team?
Absolutely. So you come off an NBA Finals appearance
That's
in
true.
the city. So
good for Indy and a Royal Rumble.
Everyone was kind of like, I'm out on this season. Like I felt like it was hands up, and some people are like, I was right with Daniel Jones, but I was wrong. I wanted to try to develop AR, but after seeing him live against the Raiders throw just a ball into this 425 section, I was like, I mean, that's not when I was out on him, but I was wrong. I'm happy to admit I'm wrong. Adam, I think you got a ticket to just light on fire as well and throw it in the trash can.
Which one? My lowest points or my fewest wins?
Lowest points. That's right.
I'm pretty sure they have the best offense in the league.
No punts until what? Week 4, week 3? Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. And now we get him as a dog for the first time since the Dolphins, and that was still the same line of 1.5. And I'll be honest, when your team's winning, you can bet on them as well. It feels really good.
I had Dolphins money line in that week 1 and advocated for that on this show, Michael. So.
Dude, I had it too. It's why it's like, and then I had Dolphins and Survivor week 2.
The only reason I bet on them is because I was there live. I couldn't Benedict on the team there.
Too whenever you're there. So okay, so I guess here's my thing. So I'm gonna throw this out there. It's to be the Heat. We were talking about MVPs, and can Daniel Jones win MVP?
I may have got in too early on the sprinkle a little bit, but absolutely, I think he definitely can win MVP. if he leads this team to 12-5, 13-4, I mean, that's egregious maybe right now, but the way they're cooking and the way he's a game manager with Steichen and his offense, what he did with Gardner Minshew, now he's got a better quarterback under center that can read defenses. I mean, Daniel Jones is 28, 29 years old. I believe in him. This is like his prime time, and it's good to see quarterbacks actually develop and not just be tossed to the rug at 23, 24 and get into a good system, a good O-line. You're seeing the effects of a good O-line for Daniel Jones, I would say.
I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to throw it to CJ. But how much of it do you think is Steichen? How much do you think it was QB whisperer KOC? Because here's what I'm going to say. He didn't play, but Kevin O'Connell wanted him on the Vikings. And suddenly him and Darnold leave and go places, and they are the 1 and 2 best quarterbacks based on efficiency, and it's not even close to everybody else in the league. Actually, Dak is like right up there, but they're far and away the best. Did Steichen do this, or did KOC?
I think it's definitely a sabbatical. Like, some people go and find their truth, and I think there is a little effect of that with KOC and what he did in Minnesota for his few months that he was there. But now with Steichen, I would say it's the system. People have all been bought in. A lot of guys haven't left, even though they've been through absolute mud with whatnot.
That whole O-line has been there the whole time.
People are bought in. But yes, I would say maybe reading defenses, understanding more how the quarterback works comes from that KOC, that little stint, a little just drop in the bucket for a few months. And then you now you go into Steichen, you got a ton of gadget guys. You have a wide receiver committee. So there's not a standalone guy you want to double team. A lot of options, and you found your good tight end in Tyler Warren. So shout out the Bears for drafting Colston Loveland as well, too.
Dude, it's impossible to bet your wide receivers.
Crazy. I mean, look, I had obviously a little bit of some Central PA bias in the Tyler Warren pick, but when Loveland went before him, I was like, I don't know. Like Tyler Warren was like a Gronk, like a that type of player. So to go for two people talk about Tyler Warren going in I think it was like 5 or 6 of the Jets earlier in that draft. So crazy to me that you guys were able to get him at 14. All right, so I had 2 quick things for you, Huff, on the Colts, which are, one, you mentioned that they are dogs this week at the Chargers. Chargers have looked kind of poopy in the last couple of weeks. I think they've certainly come back to earth. And one of my favorite things this early in this season has been, I do a look-ahead show as well, and I've been just on the Colts every week. I was like, market still has not caught up to this team. This team is, like you said, offensively maybe the best offense in the league. Their defense is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. They're plus 1.5 against the Chargers. Do you think that the market and the spread, in terms of how this team is priced week to week, do you think we've caught up, or there's still more adjustments that need to be made to them?
I think there's more adjustments. I would kind of expect, if they weren't caught up, to be just a little more than the 1.5 pick 'em. But with that being Dolphins week 1, maybe they're just kind of guessing. So I think that's a tough question for me to even answer, because when it comes down to it, maybe it's more of a hedge on what the Chargers have to bring. And then you have all the analytics behind the Colts and everyone kind of talking about the Colts. They're becoming just a little more trendy, way more talked about way more now on the big talk shows or whatever. But I would say just a tad caught up, but they're still kind of like, what do we do here, even though we're 4-1, but it is early in the season, so I would say they're not trying to go all chips in, I guess.
All right, so here's the second question for you then, because I wanted to look up with this team. I was like, what's their price for the number 1 seed? And it's actually not that good. It's like plus 330. They're second in those odds.
Daniel Jones is 45-1 to be MVP.
That's the bet.
I don't know if he's going to get the counting stats.
Right, but it doesn't. But Jones, the thing is that to the point, 80% of it is 2 qualifications: be a quarterback, 1 or 2 seed.
And that's the long bet that has the most value, I would say. And you in more ROI. I was just looking at Colts Super Bowl, and it was plus 1,400. I was like,
so that's where I was going to go. Is what do you think is the most valuable future to place on this team right now? Is it Daniel Jones 45-1, or do you think that it's a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl price at 14-1, or maybe even like an exacta?
Yeah, I would say I would go with the Daniel Jones, just because if this team, like I said, goes and gets that bye in the AFC, or they get a top 2 team, and Steichen definitely a coach of the year, which is probably like those odds are gone. But
I think he's like plus 125.
Yeah,
like,
he's probably up
I think
there.
I'd still take that if it's plus money.
Yeah,
I mean,
their schedule is great, but
yeah, their schedule is not hard. After
play an
they have
easy
that Kansas City
schedule
game,
after
and
being
then they just have mostly
ass.
South games. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say the Daniel Jones just because it has the longest odds and the most ROI. But if I had to pick one of those, I kind of like the number 1 seed at plus 330 or 350, whatever you mentioned, just because they have the easiest schedule, the easiest road. It does kind of beef up a little bit at the end of the season. But after they get some games, get some continuity together, I think they'll be ready to rock and ready to roll against those top other teams in the AFC that have kind of looked porous, I would say.
Yeah, as I'm thinking about it, because this is really similar to like when I bet the Ravens to be 1 seed like 3 weeks, but it was 3 weeks toward the end of the season. I mean, they're backloaded on all the South games. I mean, the biggest thing for them is going to be there's a world where they're the second, like where if the Jags roll and because the Jags, the thing is about winning a division, you can win a division and still have like an amazing record, like not a great record, or vice versa, and stuff like that. It's sort of like kind of like how the Vikings last year, like you got a bunch of teams out of that. I have the Jags to the South, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to buy in on the Colts. It's probably going to be an exacta for me of Colts Lions. Is what I would do.
I was going to say,
I think that the AFC is like, I still think the AFC is like not as strong as the NFC, but I mean, to me, it's like, I guess when I look at the teams that I think can get out of it, it's like Chiefs and Colts.
You could
also
worth,
I started a Madden franchise last night. I simulated it, and the Colts. I brought the Colts to the championship, but the Lions were my opponents, so that I did play that last night.
There you go.
You could also play the one. I just looked at this one too because I know Berg and I like to play name the finalist of like the conference championship, and they are plus 280 to be just make the AFC
that
championship.
I like that a lot.
Plus 280. So basically, you're saying there, okay, don't have to worry about the 1 seed. They'd certainly be favored in the wild card round, and
they have at least 2 home games.
That's what I'm saying. They're most likely going to be a 2 seed. They'd be at home. So you basically, if you can get past that wild card round, it's plus 280 for them to win the divisional game.
That's basically it's plus 280 for them. Yeah, it's plus 280 for them to be at least the 2 seed. What's
at least the 2 seed? That's on Bet 365.
You said plus 280.
I may have to talk to my account. I may have to talk to my assistant in New Jersey to see if he can get in there.
Let me
if he can release some funds.
Drive over the bridge.
I'll call my assistant to
I like that play a lot. I mean, if you think about it too, if they do end up getting the 1 seed and you bet that and just go all in on the Colts, then you just got to win 1 game. I think that's a great call.
Well, you could. I mean, again, if you could split it as a full unit, do a half on the 1 seed and a half on the 2 on the make the championship, so that way you're covered. I mean, you make a profit if they make the championship game, regardless. If they get the 1 seed. Now you essentially can double up with the 1 seed and the conference championship game. So that actually I might actually split that and play both of those, like split a unit or something in between.
This locker room's got a different swagger too, guys. This team, it feels like a team, and it's not just because we're 4-1. I mean, I think maybe because the expectations were so low. I don't know, but now they actually feel like the quarterback under center that can command a locker room. And I think that's the main thing that they've been hurting for, and hopefully that we can stay with familiarity. And Daniel Jones does end up working out because the Indiana Jones bid is just another thing.
It's gorgeous,
so great, so good.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, we're gonna move away a little bit from the Colts because I want to get your opinion here. This is Colts. If anybody is playing in Survivor, you're not going to be looking at that Colts game this weekend. Just go watch the game. It's probably the best game of this Sunday. But this is a weird week if you're in Survivor contests. Not other than the Chiefs, kind of hard to figure out like which team you can actually really trust. So for Huff, I'm going to give you here 4 teams, and I want you to tell me one reason why. Tell me one flaw in each of these teams as to why you would be scared if you had them in your survivor pick 'em. All right, you ready?
I like it.
The Chicago Bears.
The Bears, they just had that big win, and they could be a little hungover.
New England Patriots.
Patriots, Titans just fired their head coach. Jeff Saturday won his first game as an interim head coach. You never know.
I lost
so much
fucking money on that game.
Can I add a little more on that? Because I love the Titans this week. First of all, tons of people are going to be taking that Pats thing. Also, this is a third straight road game for the Pats, which is like a nearly impossible situation to win, let alone cover. Away for 3 straight off of a road win, 22, 38, and 1 since 2019. And by the way, that's straight up.
Hey, and Saints kind of almost had them too.
Saints almost had them.
That score was, that was a closer game.
If people subscribe to Unexpected Points, thank you, CJ, for getting me a subscription to that. Spencer Rattler, like, they do a really good quarterback thing. This is why I'm very in tune on. This is another reason why I've been very in tune on that. Why I cooled on the Goff MVP stuff, but like why I've been thinking about it. Spencer Rattler has been fantastic. Mac Jones up until last week had been fantastic, but consistently every week, Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold are at the top, but Spencer Rattler has been very good.
Yeah, and they've also weirdly, just quick tangent on him. They've all I think Kellen Moore might be like a decent head coach. And that was not on my bingo card coming into this season. He was sort of the last guy that was available that anybody wanted to hire, and it seems like he's been able to do something there with Rattler, and also is having him throw less, and the team seems to be playing better. So thought that was
finally
right.
Condre Miller.
I like it. Well, he just was always hurt. That was his problem.
But they also buried him on the depth chart.
They did.
Didn't want to use him.
All right, 2 more here.
Go.
Denver Broncos.
Love it. Sorry.
Broncos here. Just the same thing. Like Adam mentioned earlier, hangover. They just got all that jet lag. They also had a big win against the Eagles. I think that they're going to feel a little too cocky going into this game, with the Giants having some swagger going into this game.
I can see Berg's just grin.
Well, I realized I already talked through it.
Yeah, you did. It's funny because I didn't anticipate you were going to bring up the Broncos on this. So, all right,
there's a lot that I love on the board. I had a big Sunday. Well, no, I didn't. Wait, did I? Yeah, I had a mediocre Sunday. I had a really good Sunday on sides. I got over aggressive on TDs, but I swept on both the shows. It was great. I swept on both the shows I was on, and I was 0 for 7 and everything else I gave out. And then, but Monday I had a 15 unit day. So I was really feeling myself. And there's so much on the board that I like this weekend. And that the Broncos spot and the Titans spot, I'm making love to.
So, but if you're playing Survivor, by the way, that is a slight way of Berg saying go take Denver.
I would absolutely take Denver.
All right, last one. My Pittsburgh Steelers. Tell me why wouldn't you take them in Survivor this week? What's the flaw that you would call out?
Sometimes they just look just come out flat offense, I guess, and I don't know. Bengals are just starving for a somewhat of a victory, and Joe Flacco has some experience, I guess, against the Steelers, but it's not a bad play either, I guess. But if I had to say,
you're starting to convince me. Actually, that might not be a bad play either. If you're starting to throw in, well, Joe Flacco is there.
People are enamored with Joe Flacco from 2023 9-game sample where he had a fantastic offensive line in front of him and was playing teams that were woefully unprepared for any sort of pace-up offense.
He was awful, and
he was awful on the Colts.
Shane Steichen, can't believe they put him in on that Sunday night primetime game against the Vikings, just off of 4 days.
I forgot about that. Yes,
just go out there, figure it out, and they just benched AR because they kind of had to. Their hand was forced with that tap out situation. So what a mess that was. And Flacco's done. He's silently quitting. He's just getting his check and getting out of there. Don't blame him. But I think it's funny. Sean Green, SGPN, made a tweet. It was like, you trade your guy that you started on week 1. It's just like, what? No one believes in Flacco at the end of the day. It's just like, all right, we got this guy.
I feel so bad for Browns fans. Like, as low, like, this is as low as it gets when they literally were at the beginning of the season excited that Joe Flacco was starting at quarterback. Like, there is nothing that they could hold on to other than remember the good times in 2023 when Joe Flacco.
Yeah, really. Like, talk about like a nostalgia trip on a nostalgia trip, because he was 39 then. Like, I mean, this is the average. The combined age tomorrow night is 82.
Joe Flacco in 2023 was like Brock
jerseys
Purdy
in
on
that
steroids.
crowd in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They hold on to a lot. Charlie Fry. I mean, you got those jerseys that. I mean, how many taped up jerseys are they going to have? That's all the way down, looking like a Wizard's robe with Jason Campbell.
They just want you to. They don't hold on to the sex pest anymore. I can tell you that. You do not see any jerseys of that.
Well, I also like the Browns this weekend. So, all right. That was actually CJ. That was I like the way that Survivor thing came about. So so what would yours be, CJ?
That I would take this week. I think it's probably the Broncos because I don't like taking, just as a principle, if like you're playing Survivor, I don't love taking a Thursday night game in general, even though I'm with you. I like the Steelers this week. I just think that probably the Broncos would be my play. Patriots, they have a lot, like Patriots schedule is so easy the rest of the season. It's so like, don't waste the Patriots. If you have them, like, don't waste them. And in a lot of Survivors, I know, especially if I think you're in the Circa contest, you have to pick a Thanksgiving game. Got to save the Chiefs. You have to save the Chiefs to have available then. So
their Chiefs are about to reel off 11 straight wins. So it's just get ready. I mean, the inevitable is happening, and the fact that they're still only plus 150 to win the AFC West is stupid. That's a stupid
crazy.
Number. That should be minus 2,000. I've been
parlaying that with Colts to make the AFC Championship.
So people. I parlayed
I
multiple times. I've now parlayed in the past 2 weeks. I've parlayed. Well, actually, not last 2 weeks. It was last week and a half. I have Dodgers to win. Dodgers to win the World Series. Chiefs to win the AFC West. I got it at one point. I got it to 15-1. I have now got it down to 5-1 because of both of them. Because the Dodgers are minus 170 to win the World Series. And sorry, folks, if that's happening. I think that we should.
It's like the Thanos parlay. It's just inevitable. It is inevitable.
It's inevitable, and they're also going to be fully staffed. It's fine. We're not going to talk about the Chiefs. Let's So okay, you mentioned Tyler Warren, a rookie. I saw in CJ's notes. Well, I'll let you tee this up. You had a really good theme. We do a theme when we build a parlay. CJ, do you want to run with the ball?
So each week, for folks for not listening to the show, shame on you for not listening.
Wait, should we do a quick ad read?
Yeah, we probably should. We should probably
quick ad read. First of all, Handygrass still exists. We're going to be doing.
Handygrass is awesome.
We have hockey coming. I promise.
Hockey's coming. Also, Handygrass once again cooked tonight. If you are using Handygrass and you're a current Handygrass subscriber, sort by BABIP. BABIP is all that matters in the playoffs. Nothing else matters. Sort by BABIP and take that guy over and over again. Ernie Clement. If you give me a single, we get $1,000. You are awesome. That being said, Handygraphs, I think we have a code that just kind of gives it to you for free for the next 2 weeks. It's HG playoffs. And then Hall of Fame Bets, HOFapp.com. If you were watching, there's a QR code. We love Hall of Fame Bets. We just showed you how we were using it. They just added quarter, 1, half, and second, all the quarterly derivative splits, which are awesome. And those are other cool markets that everybody can play because everybody loves to parlay Dalton Kincaid first quarter receiving yards. So anyway, that said, I'm going to build on Hall of Fame Bets while you guys do it. CJ, back to you.
All right. So we do this every week, Huff. We do a parlay with a given theme. So we've done this where it's like, pick QBs that you just think absolutely fucking suck, and then pick a prop to fade them. We've had teams where we did, I think what we did, like the alt under in terms of team totals, like teams we just think that also suck. This week, we're going to go with rookies in honor of you and your phenomenal rookie there, and Tyler Warren. So give us a prop think of one rookie. It can be an over, can be an under, but give us a rookie that you'll be looking at to target for something this weekend for a prop.
I'm gonna build too.
I was gonna shout Tyler Warren anytime touchdown. I didn't know we
That's
were
fine.
still talking Colts, but
You can do it.
I here's why, because it's plus 140. It's the lowest it's been, but they just allowed 7 targets, 6 completions to Darren Waller, and Darren Waller out of nowhere, by the way. But they also have allowed a lot of their touchdowns on the receiving end. They're really good in the secondary, but they leave the middle wide open. So I think Warren will get in the end zone yet again, and they always find a way to use him. To throw the ball, to run the ball, fullback dive. So I would love to do that one, but I was going to shout that out. But I'm happy to pick another.
No, dude, I love, dude. Chargers, Waller, Theo Johnson, and Travis Kelce all caught touchdowns,
and Bowers touchdown, I think, too, as well.
So yeah, they yeah, I mean they've been fantastic on it. So I'll add it here. Warren with 3 straight games with touchdowns. I think one of those games he had a rushing touchdown. Did he have a rushing touchdown in one of those games? Yeah, he did.
He used that like fullback dive or whatever.
Yeah, they fullback dive dove him.
Yep.
All right, let me look at who is there. Let me see. Oh, I know who I'm going to go to. Well, so let me see who I'm going to.
I don't have like I don't know if I have receiving like props open, but I'm happy. I mean, anything Tyler Warren. I think he's going to.
No. Okay, so I'm just going to ask CJ. CJ, are you? I'll let CJ go first.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my. I'm just looking here at the one I want to do. I kind of want. So I want to go Quinshon Judkins, and I want to have.
I love where this is going.
I want to do an alt on his longest rush.
Yeah, I love this play. I love this.
Right. So right now it's 17.
This team.
I have 17.5 as the main line. So you can take that, like you can go bet that right now. It's 17.5 minus 115, I think, on MGM. But go look at his rushing yards line. It's 89.5 for the over. This Dolphins defense blows. And also, Judkins, like, one of my favorite things to do as a Steeler fan is every Monday morning, I like to drink the tears and listen to the local Cleveland sports radio. And all they could talk about this week was the fact that Judkins is just not getting the ball enough. So rushing yard line is already at 90.
I think he's off. I think he's due for a game too. He's off a really low game.
Yeah, I love longest rush. So 17.5 is the one right now, but if that one, once the all comes, I'm firing on that one.
No, I love that. I mean, I think, spoiler alert, like I'm going to be labbing tomorrow, but like for my stuff for the weekend, but like Judkins is going to be on my card. It's like part of the reason why I love the Browns is because like the Browns are a 1-4 team laying points that speaks at home. It's like kind of the line is telling you everything you need to know.
Dolphins can't close either. They cannot close the slightest either.
So I am going to do what am I going to do here? Let me just see. I'm just looking through some of the games and just seeing where are there some rookies that I really that I think I want to back. Oh, you know what? Okay, so if this game is going to be, if we're going to have a dead cat bounce game, then it's going to have to start and end with Cam Ward. So let's see what we got for Cam Ward. I mean, because I don't think they're going to be able to run it against him. So his passing, I know we're taking Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to throw for 200 yards. I don't have an alt up yet, but he threw for 222 against Vegas in a game that they were never in. He threw for 265 in the game that they came back for against Arizona, 219 a couple weeks before. The New England, as great as they are, they just gave up 227 to Spencer Rattler, 253 to Josh Allen, 315 to Tua. Oh man, 362 to Geno to start the season. Cam can get there. All right, let's do that. So I have it all in. They don't have all my alts for then let me see if I can get this with whatever it is. What is it? 170.75.
Yeah, just let me see if I can find. I've got the Tyler Warren one. I'm seeing the best price there, by the way, is like plus 145 for TD. As we said, we'll play alts on both of these, and the alts are not up. But let me just go and check. I'm trying to do the same thing you are right now, I think, Adam.
Yeah,
I have no alts available either, which is why I was like, I'm looking for a line to give some.
But Tyler Warren touchdown. I like it. This is it's great.
I really like the Ward look too, because I do like the Titans +7 as well. Disgusting, but
it's third straight road game, man. Like no one's gonna be on this is the thing. It's oh wow, it went up actually. Never mind. It's at I'm seeing it at it's Hard Rock has it at one. It's 212 is his pass, so they know.
Yeah, 212.5 is what
that's
I'm
fine.
seeing.
That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take the 212. The 212 is on there, and then the Judkins longest. Let me add that. Boom, and then Warren touchdown, and then what is it? It is. I mean, it'll eventually be. I don't know why it's not up on DK yet, but it's on MGM, which I can't bet on anymore. So it looks like it's going to end up being like
this should be around like 6 or 7 to 1.
Yeah,
you can't technically build it if you're looking or listening on the stream right now. But if you listen to this or try to build this tomorrow morning, I guarantee you'll be able to put this in because the alts usually come online around Thursday.
I love it.
They should with the game. I don't think we have to put it in the play if we already got those. I like those, but I kind of like Scadaboo receiving actually against the Broncos. If anything,
I like that.
We
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's only 14.5. The line is, and they allowed 59 receiving yards for Omari Hampton, 50 yards for Jonathan Taylor receiving, 58 receiving for Saquon Barkley, 31 for Brown, 24 for 29 for Chase Pollard to begin the year. So, I mean, they kind of allow, I guess, that little check down piece. So I kind of think with that line opening for Scadaboo receiving, we could see that easily go past 14.5.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I also just think that the rest of their D-backs are going to be shutting down what is really a mediocre wide receiving core. So I like that play a lot. Probably going to steal that. All right, Huff, you're in charge of reminding us that we got to. By the way, breaking news: Undertaker GIF on our Toronto 40-1 AL pennant futures.
I know they tied it. It was 2-2.
Oh, they're piling it on. It's 6-2. 6-2.
Away team wins. Keep racking them. We've got that live too. Away team to win more games than the home team in MLB postseason.
So, all right. So, Huffer, you got to remind us to bet this weekend when all the alts are up. Tell everybody where they can find you and what's going on at Pump Fake Land.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude, you were a really good guest. I'm really glad. Like I was like, we don't talk Colts enough.
Well, now we are, baby. It's our year finally. I'm an entitled Colts fan growing up with Peyton Manning and then straight to Luck. So it is what we get. Yeah, Michael_Huffer3 is all my like usernames, and then we are the at Pump Fake Pod. We at Pump Fake Pod, literally Pump Fake Pod, no caps, no spaces. YouTube, podcast, Twitter is where we're kind of on our main channel. Instagram we're launching, so and we're locked in. Tonight is our 26th conference preview out of 31 since the Pac-12 is gone for 1 year. But we've done every conference. I feel really stacked up, ready to rock. I got the transfer portal. The beast of it is, and players and where they are now, and it feels good knocking these previews down. So we'll do our P5 next week, and then we'll start doing our big show November 2nd before the big state November 3rd. 24 hours of college basketball. It's back, 8 a.m. to like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Do you want to send me all your future? Because like I on college football, I did my research beforehand. Like my week to week has been tougher now, but like futures wise, my win totals are like crazy, and I've never actually done any CBB futures. Do you do like win totals, or do you do to win at? All right, like is that like a thing in college basketball? Are win totals a thing in college basketball?
It is. It's kind of more like it's more like offshore, but like I don't know. Sometimes everything varies state to state with props, I feel like, too, and all that future nonsense. It's weird. But, yeah, I like to just bet in futures. This was my first year. I was up. I had Florida and Houston long ticket last year, so that was fun.
Nice.
So Houston was the better. It would have been paid out more, but Florida was still nice. But, yeah, that was very handsome. And that was from the Future Show last year. So I'll be diving into that, going into mainly like conference championships and conference regular season futures and national championships are like making the tournaments kind of fun with like a team that may be like a bubble team, but you can get a plus 200, a plus 135, a plus 150. And if they're in a P5 school, they're going to push those into March Madness. So that's kind of always a fun one too, is if they can just make the tournament.
So 2 last quick questions, and we'll go. 1, Tragic Magic on Loyola.
Yes, yes, and they're going to be good. They bring back a lot of pieces. I know this now.
Yeah, I don't think people ever leave that school. They're like they're 9-1 to win the A10.
Yeah, no, and it's solid. I mean, there's just so many teams in the A10. It is kind of wide open. Like St. Louis is heavily favored again. You got Dayton, all those class people, VCU. But yeah, I mean, Loyola definitely Tragic Magic for sure this year.
And then what's your favorite future that you've given out that you want to give out to everybody here?
Favorite future that I've given out?
Conference one that you've given out so far. What's one that you're just like, I'm really into?
Favorite conference one. Let me. I got a lot
for
of.
Me, it was my Iowa State overs that are like going to the moon right now. Thank you, Rocco.
Let's see. Okay, this is disgusting. If you want to get kind of sicko with me for a second.
We just talked about how we're all betting the Titans and the Browns. So I don't think that being disgusting is a problem.
We just bet Cam Ward over passing yards.
Yeah, we just bet Cam Ward over passing yards. So, we're fine.
This isn't as disgusting as you think, but I like Northern Iowa to win the Missouri Valley if you can find that. It's like plus 400, 450, but they are always competitive and they bring tons of pieces and everyone's overvalued in Illinois State. So that's some sicko mode. But if I had to do anything else, it would be I like the Iowa State call. But
mine was for football, but I don't know. Are they good?
Indiana to make the NCAA tournament. Let's stick with the homeboy crowd, and I like them to sprinkle the 10 championship as well. I mean, I don't like going into like a plus 200, plus 150 future for conference championships because there's just so much parity in college basketball now. So I kind of like finding like those longer odds, and I think Indiana is valued, and Michigan State as well is a solid play for the Big Ten as well because they're like longer odds. One's favored on Purdue, Michigan, and other teams. So I thought. Nice, but we'll do P5 next week on the Pump Fake Pod for sure.
Nice. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to like checking in the occasional time when I invade your guys' show and I'm just like, hey guys, what's going on? It's Syracuse minus 10.5 fade. Albany's
we're talking Western Carolina versus like Wofford or something. Yeah, like 2 in the morning. It's great. I love it.
There are people
can't wait to be back.
Is Q's gonna be good?
I think they'll be better. I haven't, like I said, I've been so dived in on every conference. It's like I'm so behind on the P5, but I think Syracuse will be improved. And my goodness, if Siena and Jerry Mack win the Athletic Atlantic Conference, you bet your bottom dollar they need to get Jerry Mack in there.
Yeah, he's moving over there. I think he's coming next year.
Come on, get him in there. It's no. Yeah. I thought it happened since he was under Boeheim for like 8 years too. So but they'll be improved. Last year was miserable watching Syracuse.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, dude, this was good. We don't do dad moves when we have guests that we've stopped doing dad moves. And the dad move we gave at the beginning is just tell your kids that there's spiders on them. And that will and if you want to
hear my dad, and then dad moves just sort of end.
Dad moves stop.
We'll bring them.
I'm not quite a dad trying to. We just got a house and then I went over there. If you want to hear this dad move I did, I went to rake leaves and I'm going to go mow the lawn and tomorrow morning before we move into the house because we're leaving this weekend. So I went there to just go rake leaves tonight before we move in. I feel like that's dad.
When's move-in day?
October 23rd, 24th is like officially move in. We like replace the floors and crap like that, all that homeowner nonsense. But I felt like a dad types of chores. I did. Yes.
Any more, Mike? When you have kids, that you like volunteer to go do that kind of shit. So you're like, great. Let me go put on my headphones. Let me go actually put on my podcast.
I'll go to the grocery store at 6:00.
No problem. Whoa, wait.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll go outside.
You need new garbage bags? No problem. I got you. No problem. Yeah.
That's good. No, and it's a plus with the wifey. Exactly.
Of course. You always build up that cash.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Well,
they figure it out though.
You probably got. We'll do it. We're gonna do a mini. So housekeeping again. HOF Bets code DADS 25% off the first month. It's worth it. And it's actually gonna be really cool to use HOF Bets with splits within like how does this team perform against bottom percentile teams, which is pretty cool. We are gonna do another quick show tomorrow where I think we're gonna do like a 15-minute baseball pod, maybe, probably. I don't actually know what we're gonna talk about, but I still think we'll do it. It'll probably just be like what.
Well, we'll give a little check-in on our thoughts with
we'll do a check-in,
and
yeah,
maybe we'll talk about a team that we're kind of
that
looking
begins
for
the tour of
moves.
sad Tigers and Phillies fans that we'll bring in every week.
I think based on how Nick was in that last episode that we had with him, I think he's like actually pretty happy with the result.
It's amazing. All right, cool. So for Mike Huffer, for our producer Spencer Ray, that's at Spencer_Ray. For CJ at Dad's That Bet, we are at Dad's Bet Baseball and Football. But you can find us at Dad's Bet Baseball on every single platform. Nobody follows us really on Instagram because I don't know why, but leave comments, like, share, all that. We are doing really well. For some weird reason, like, you guys are helping us grow, and we have an insane retention rate, and it's nuts, and that's really helpful to us. But with all that being said, CJ, what's the final word?
Huff, ask Madden, HB dive.
Vertical.